Hi, everybody. Welcome to this business performance mindset workshop. I've got to start with an apology. If you did try to join in live today, I had a problem with my audio, which doesn't seem to be on the recording, but does seem to be going out onto the live. Very strange. So I had to postpone cancel going out live. Just do this as a recording. It will be exactly the same as if you were in the room, apart from we can't have any questions at the end. So if you do have any questions, reply to the email where you got this link, and I'm happy to answer any questions on there. Okay, so business performance mindset is what we're looking at, what we're talking about today. I'll give a quick introduction to me, and then we'll talk a little bit about hypnosis. Some of you I know registered for this have already listened to me speak about this before, so it will be very similar. When I do send the recording out, I will put a link in there, a note on there, should I say, that will take you to the time of the hypnosis part, which is probably why you're here, because that is always a little bit different from workshop to workshop. But anyway, a little bit about me for those of you that have not met me before. So I'm Steve Woods. I am a hypnotist. I've been helping people now for nearly 20 years. It's 20 years in November. The Started out very much therapeutic, worked in that therapeutic area, and migrated over time more into performance. And performance is where I work in now. So helping people perform better. I did quite a lot of work in sports, quite a lot of work in golf in particular, but also in business performance, where it's about helping people get into the zone in all of those occasions, really getting into the zone, enjoying doing what you do, whether it's competing at a particular sport or whether it's being successful in your business. Enjoyment is really important in there. So, what is hypnosis? How does it work? So, hypnosis is about getting to the subconscious part of the mind. We often talk about being in two parts about things or in two minds about things. Wish I could do this thing, but part of me stops me, or I'm in two minds about whether to go or whether not to go to this event, this party. Wish I could lose some weight, maybe, but part of me loves cream cakes, all of those things. And it's very true. We do have multiple parts to our minds, certainly the psychologists believe. But the two important parts are the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the thinking bit. It's the self-critical bit as well. It's the often the doubting part of your mind. It's when you actively think about doing something, you're generally doing it. When you try to do something, you're generally doing it in that conscious part of your mind. Subconscious mind sits behind there, and the subconscious mind is the doing part of the mind. It's the part of the mind that gets on and does whatever gets to it. And I say that because the conscious mind's other job is to act as a filter. In the You don't hear this term very much now, but in years gone by, people talked about firewalls in the computing world. The firewall won't let this through. They're still there, but they're pretty much normal now, and they're pretty much automatically set up. But in our world, in the world of the mind, the conscious mind is like a firewall. It only lets certain things through, but the subconscious accepts whatever gets to it within reason, within its morals, within your morals, within your boundaries. So you can't be made to do something you wouldn't want to do. My aim as a hypnotist is to help you get that doubting, self-critical bit of your mind out of the way and get the subconscious doing the things. So probably an example is worthwhile. So an example of the subconscious mind doing its thing is driving a vehicle. Whether you drive a vehicle yourself or whether you've seen somebody driving, making lots of little corrections on the steering wheel. I remember as a kid watching my dad driving, thinking, God, it must be really, really focused. It must be really concentrating, take such concentration. Little did I know, all those little corrections were all pretty much automatic. His subconscious mind had learned pretty quickly how to drive a car, how to make all those corrections. And he was thinking about what he was going to have for tea or something else, most likely. Still, conscious mind's still there, ready to jump in, but conscious mind's relaxed out of the way, letting the subconscious do its thing. Walking around, we don't think about all the muscles we're using. Breathing, we don't think about the breath that we're taking until I've drawn conscious attention to it now, of course. But if I've got up and went to the door, I don't think about all those muscles unless the floor is slippy or there's some obstacles there. Then the conscious mind has to get involved, because then the conscious mind has to think about treading carefully or stepping over something. So there's an ongoing backwards and forwards between the two. But the bit I'm interested in is the subconscious. But as an example as to how the conscious mind filter thing works, if I was to say to you, say to anybody, okay, somebody comes along and says, Steve, I want to be a great public speaker. I've got to do a presentation at work. It's going to result in me getting a promotion if it all goes well, or need to speak at a wedding, really nervous. If I said to them, "Oh, close your eyes, Fred, and it'll be absolutely fine," you'll just imagine it going really well, and you'll be fine. You'll flow through it. Conscious mind, quite rightly, quite understandably, would say, "What a load of rubbish! How can that work?" And would never let it get to the subconscious, that inner part of the mind. Would never actually let it become something. So again, relaxing out of the way, though, getting the subconscious then to visualize success, to practice success, actually then feels as though it's already achieving it. Now, our mind, our subconscious mind, its main job is to protect us. That's what it's doing all the time. Even sitting here now talking to you, subconscious mind is running protection scenarios. What if this happened? What if that happened? What happened last time you did this? So in the case of a sports person, let's say something happened when they were doing their sport, and it might not even have been serious. It might have been something that raised some laughs with their friends or their colleagues, for want of a better description, in the sporting world. But the subconscious mind, the belief from psychologists is that the subconscious mind treats even that threat of a bit of humiliation or embarrassment, it treats it as if something's going to eat us. It treats us as if it's life or death. It puts us into fight or flight mode. And by putting us in fight or flight mode, we can't think clearly. Our body's ready to run. Excuse me, it's ready to fight. Bit of a tickle. So it can happen, as I say, even a little bit of fear of something. It could be watching a video of somebody in a particularly humiliating situation, don't think any more of it, and months down the line, for some reason, you end up in a similar situation, or the beginnings of it, the potential for that thing to happen. Subconscious mind running its little scenarios will go, "Oh, hang on a minute, we saw that thing happen. Well, let's run away. Let's not let it eat us. Let's run away from it." And that's why we can end up with fear about people hanging up on us if we're making follow-up phone calls, or networking, people thinking we're silly because we're nervous and the bit of paper in our hand is shaking, or we're trying to read from it when we're doing networking. All sorts of things can be then a trigger for that fight or flight mode, which of course then makes it worse because the subconscious mind doesn't understand, actually, we want to do that thing for our business. We want to do the marketing. We want to do the networking. But it creates this feeling of wanting to run away. We battle through it. So next time it tries even harder, next time it tries harder. So we end up then getting to a point where we just don't do networking, or we just don't pick up the phone because we're fearful of something that's probably also very unlikely to happen. So as a hypnotist, my job, I've already mentioned, is to help you create some new memories. So getting to that subconscious, getting you to do that great presentation, getting you to do those cold calls or whatever they might be, getting you to network with confidence actually creates new memories. There's been measurements of brain activity, the memory centers fire when somebody's visualizing, whether it's through meditation or whether it's through hypnosis or anything else. They can see activity going on in the brain, memory centers firing. So once they're firing, you can't see what they're firing with, but we're creating new realities. We're creating new habits, new expectations, because we're now experiencing that thing that could be something we need to fear as something different. And we're also getting excited about the outcomes as well. Hypnosis happens naturally. So we get natural states of hypnosis when we're distracted. So if you're busy thinking about something, you might be listening to something in the background, excuse me, those things can get in, listening to a particular song in the car as you're driving on your player. So it's going to come back on when you restart the car. Not really listening to it, but it's playing away. Find yourself humming that song all day and thinking, "Oh, when did I hear that? I don't know where that came from." Get back in the car. And of course, you start the engine and it starts playing again because it's carrying on. And you go, "Oh, that was that song. But how did I know that was going to be on?" Well, actually, it already started. You weren't thinking about it, and it got into your subconscious mind. When we're emotional, positive or negative, as a hypnotist, I'm interested in creating lots of positive emotions because then the belief is that gives us a pathway to the subconscious. But also, when people are emotional in a negative way, upset over something, it actually leaves the subconscious open at that point as well. So in the case of a child that's upset with something, things we say to that child at that point will go in. They'll go into that subconscious, oh, you're always dropping things, you're useless, all those things. That's where often fears, phobias, and things get embedded because that child then associates that thing that they did or what happened to them as being something they're going to get told off about, which then means that they become fearful of it. They become fearful of an object, maybe because that object becomes associated with being told off. As we're falling asleep as well, so that's the time when conscious mind goes to sleep, that point where you physically don't feel as though you can really move, but you're still thinking a little bit, you're almost dozing in and out of sleep. That's the point where the subconscious is available. Great time for repetitive learning, affirmations, those sorts of things. If you want to learn a language, it's good to have it playing in the background as you're falling asleep. Positive affirmations, being quite specific, often quite rhythmic in those affirmations. There's quite a lot of information on the web. It's not something I'm an expert in, but I have used them in the past. And the belief is as you're falling asleep, subconscious becomes open and it hears those affirmations, and it will have positive effects. It will have positive influences on the way that you think and the way that you feel. But like I say, be specific with them, not I am great, I am great, I am great, because your mind doesn't know what you're going to be great at or not at as well, because of course it might be great at falling over that the mind thinks of. So be quite specific in what you're thinking of. Time that you have available for that varies. So for some people, it could be half an hour, it could be more even, that the subconscious is available. It can be different each night, of course. For some people, it's just a few minutes before they're into that deep level of sleep. But yeah, making use of that light level of sleep, subconscious can be really useful. And of course, the other times for hypnotic states are when someone deliberately sits down to put you into a state of hypnosis, which we're going to do in a little while. I should say as well, when we do get to that point, you need to be in a position where you're able to sit, ideally sitting. You can do it laid down, but ideally sitting, somewhere where you can close your eyes safely, so not driving, not operating machinery, or doing anything that might be a danger to yourself or anyone else around you. Probably going to be getting to that point in, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, just so you're aware if you want to get yourself in that position ready. So what happens when we're hypnotizing? Well, I've already alluded to a lot of this, really. It is imagination. It's pretending. It's visualizing. It's taking yourself into whatever that successful outcome looks like. It's achieving your goals. So it's not just about, in hypnosis, I'm going to practice making my phone calls. Yes, those sorts of things would come into it. But actually, a lot more is about why. Why are you going to do those? Why are you going to make those phone calls? What's in it for you? What's the outcome? Because getting the mind excited about the outcome, this stuff over here, most business coaches will say to you, start with the end in mind. Okay, so why do you want to make those phone calls? Because I'm going to make an extra £10,000 a year. Because I've worked, I've done in the past, I've looked at this, it's measurable. I can see a difference. When I don't make my phone calls, business goes down. When I do, it goes up. Okay, so £10,000 a year. What are you going to do with that? How are you going to grow the business? How are you going to pay yourself, treat yourself? Getting the mind really excited about that end result, and then looking at the now as well, because now it's feeling motivated, is a great way of visualizing that success. So it's practicing success now, but it's also practicing success in the future. It doesn't need to be a year, it could be 5 years, 10 years as well. Interesting enough, when you ask somebody that horrible interview question that we get, I don't know whether they still ask that question, but certainly they did when I was, it was a long time ago since I had an interview for a job. I'm probably unemployable now, but when I had an interview for a job, they asked that question, well, where do you see yourself, Steve, in 5 years' time? Consciously, if somebody asks me that question, ask anybody that question, consciously, we look at it and go, listen to it and go, right, what do I need to say here? What do I need to say to get this job? Subconsciously, so in a state of hypnosis, the answer is instant, and the answer is very real. It's very honest, sometimes surprising. So it's about getting that answer and linking it into the things you need to achieve. Often, though, particularly when working one-to-one, often it's a learning process. Some people don't have a very clear why. Some people need to get that. So we can work on actually helping get the why, as well as actually going in and practicing it and experiencing it. Today's going to be about visualization of what business success looks like and means to you, and keeping it deliberately vague, because I want you to just get the most from it. It's going to be 15, 20 minutes of hypnosis, letting your mind get the most from it. So when I'm working with somebody one-to-one, I ask them a couple of questions. How do they imagine it's going to physically feel to be hypnotized? How do they imagine I'm going to get them into hypnosis? And that's just really so I can have a quick conversation. I should say answers that I get are, they vary. I'm going to be out of it. I'm going to be unconscious. You're going to tell me to cluck like a chicken, whatever it might be. But I have those questions because I want to be able to talk it through. So hypnosis it doesn't have to be relaxing. Hypnosis is a really high focus. It's a high focus on something. It can be positive, it could be negative. We want positive, of course. We want to be a high focus on success. But initially, we want to get the senses working. So the high focus, first of all, is about relaxation. It's getting you in your mind. I'm going to talk you through a nice head to toe type relaxation, bit of breathing, bit of counting, muscles relaxing, getting you to visualize being in a really nice place. It doesn't need to have anything to do with business because it's just a stopping off point. It's where we're going to stop before we go off and do some work on your business, some work on what your success looks like. It's to get all your senses firing. We focus on relaxation because actually that's what most people expect. You can be hypnotized standing up, but if I said to you, all right, okay, stand up now, everybody, I'm going to hypnotize you, probably feel a bit cheated because we generally want that nice relaxed feeling. So we focus on that initially. And then it's about moving into the future in your mind. All your senses are now firing. You really feel as though you're there. And so you can enjoy those future times as if you were there, creating those memories, creating those experiences, releasing the happy hormones, all those things. When you're in hypnosis, and I would suggest you come back and listen to the recording of the hypnosis part, well, as often as you like. Do it every day for a couple of weeks if you want to, or every other day. Don't have to do it any particular time because we don't want to put any pressure on. Don't want you to think you've broken it because you've not had a chance to do it. But yeah, listen a few times because you do get better at doing this as well. It's definitely worth saying. So while you're in that state of hypnosis, if there's an emergency, become aware and alert and deal with it. If something happens to stop the recording, again, becoming aware and alert and deal with it. You never lose awareness, never lose control. You'll hear sounds. There shouldn't be, but there might be sounds around me. But more likely it might be sounds around you as you're listening. You'll be aware of those. But unless they need your attention, you don't need to give them any attention. Physically, quite a short recording, this one. So yeah, but if your leg did go numb, as an example, you can fidget, you can move around. The same with stray thoughts. Excuse me. So if you're like me talking to you now, you've been sat listening. Either of us, in reality, could have had those thoughts of, oh, I must remember to do that thing. I must do this. I must do that. I must go get some milk. Go to the shop. Even those sorts of thoughts will come in, even when you're deeply hypnotized, because we're not switching off that mind completely. We're getting it very focused. But be prepared, those thoughts might come in. If they do, acknowledge them, pop them to one side, come back and work on what we're working on. And I'll talk about all that. Try not to try. If you're trying too hard, keeping that conscious mind too involved, that's the bit we want to relax out the way. That's the bit we want to allow it to go into that relaxed and focused state. That just about covers it, really. So preparing now to be hypnotized, to go into that nice, relaxed and focused state. So you need to be sitting comfortably. Ideally sitting, can be laid down, but ideally sitting. And as I said earlier on, not driving, not operating machinery, not doing anything that might be a danger to yourself or anyone else around you. If anything does happen that needs your attention, you'll become aware and alert and able to give it the attention that it needs. And as well, if anything happens to stop this recording, again, becoming aware and alert, able to restart the recording. So sitting comfortably now, or laid down, but that's ideally sitting. Hands just resting comfortably, just nice and balanced, really. And then when you're ready, closing your eyes. And starting to think about now, starting to follow my instructions. As you think about all the little tiny muscles, those muscles in your cheeks, those muscles around your eyes, and imagine those muscles relaxing. Imagining those muscles getting soft, getting lazy, getting relaxed. You might tense them up and let them go. You might just imagine them soft, lazy, calm. There really is no wrong way for you to do this. Whatever way you do this, is absolutely right for you. And the experience can be different each time you listen to this recording as your mind is learning how to be hypnotized. Your eyelids relaxing, your eyelids getting nice and lazy, nice and heavy, nice and relaxed. Those eyelids getting so relaxed, so lazy, so heavy now that you don't want to, but even if you did want to, that you just wouldn't be able to open your eyes. That's good. And then taking that feeling from behind your eyes, letting it move up over your forehead, over the top of your head, down the back of your head, down into your neck, down into your shoulders. It's that wonderful warm band of relaxation, relaxing every nerve, every muscle, every fiber as it moves. As every deep breath, every firm beat of your heart now, helping to slow things down as you allow that feeling to continue to move, moving from your neck and your shoulders now, moving down through your arms. Nice warm band of relaxation. Moving right down through your arms, down into your lower arms, all the way down to your hands, all the way down to your fingers. That same feeling then moving down through the center of your body. Every nerve, every muscle, every fiber is calm, comfortable, and confident. So that feeling moves right down through the center of your body, down and into your legs. Moving right down through your legs, right down into your lower legs, all the way down to your feet. And then from your feet, letting that feeling escape just into the floor, into the air, wherever feels natural. And noticing that next great wave of relaxation, head to toe, following it down. And then starting to think about now a wonderful place, a perfect place. If you've already listened to this recording or done some work before, you might go back to the same place that you've been to before. That's fine. If you're doing this for the first time, though, this place can be somewhere real, somewhere imaginary, somewhere you've been to, somewhere you'd like to go to. It's your special place. Just you can go there, just you and the sound of my voice. As you start to be there, start to find yourself there, to be looking around and noticing the detail, letting that detail get better, letting that detail become nice and clear, nice and bright. Not worrying if that conscious part of your mind might sometimes just wander to other thoughts, just like it might do in any conversation, because you can grab it, bring it back. And each time you do bring it back, it'll come back with focus, more attention, able to stay focused for longer. Noticing that minutes in this place feel like hours today. As you let go, never losing control, never giving up awareness, but just being able to let go now. Aware of the textures, things you can reach out and touch, things you're naturally in contact with, whether sitting, standing, or laying down in that place. Aware of the temperature, perfect. Even the sounds, even the smells, everything about it. Safe in the knowledge that if anything should happen that needs your immediate attention today, that you'll become aware and alert and able to give it the attention that it needs. And as well, if anything should happen to stop this recording, again, becoming aware and alert, able to restart the recording to deal with the problem. Not needing to worry about that right now, though, as I count down from 10 down to 1. Each number down, letting you step a level deeper, letting you sink a level deeper, whatever that level is for you as you find your way back into, if you're using this recording already, that nice relaxed feeling. So starting at 10, And feeling that step down to 9, stepping down to 8. Every nerve, every muscle, every fiber is it's relaxed, it's lazy, it's heavy. Stepping down to 7 and 6. Still enjoying that wonderful place of yours, that perfect place. Sinking down deeper and deeper down. Stepping down to 5 and 4. Every out breath letting you sink a little bit deeper into whatever it is you're resting on today as it gets softer and softer, more and more comfortable. Stepping down to 3 and 2 and all the way down to 1. Nice and relaxed, nice and comfortable, enjoying that wonderful place of yours, that perfect place. Maybe noticing that heaviness, maybe noticing that calm feeling, that relaxed feeling, noticing the feeling that's right for you right now. It's worth saying that as far as your inner mind is concerned, whatever you visualize today, whatever you practice in that future time, feels like you're there. Whatever you remembering some great business experience from the past, feels like you're there, feels like you're achieving it. Or of course, if something is happening right now, again, it is that same feeling, releasing the happy hormones, the great chemicals, creating memories, creating experiences that you can build on, even from this short session today. So let's step into the future. Let's step into your business success, time of your choice in that future, because to your mind, it doesn't matter. It could be 6 months, could be a year, could be 5 years. Maybe take a particular project or a particular idea and move into the future with it in your mind. Move into the future with it so that you can see the outcome. You can see that point and experience that point where your hard work has all become good. That project, that thing, that item that you want to think about is completed successfully. Yes, there might have been changes in direction along the way to get to that end result, but you can see and experience that end result right now. Great clarity around it, great direction, getting all of that imagery clear, really being there. Notice your interactions with people, talking about maybe the project. Again, whatever looks and feels right for you right now. Being in that future time where you can see and experience your performance, your business performance, getting those things done, being successful, and notice the outcome, the benefits. What is it you're doing with that success? Is it earning you more money? Is it more things you can do? Is it increasing the value of your business, or maybe giving jobs to people? Whatever it might be. You have that freedom, even in this hypnotized state, to enjoy that success exactly as it should be. Hypnosis is very much about doing those shoulds, getting those shoulds done. Feeling good, feeling confident, letting that confidence grow, giving yourself that ability to be that very best version of you. To notice how it looks, to notice how it feels, to maybe join up that timeline between that future time and now, to notice the milestones, the achievements, to see with great clarity the way that you can perform better in order to get to that end result and to enjoy it. What are those specific things you need to do? How do these things help get to that end result? And again, what does that end result look like, feel like, smell like, taste like, all of those things? because we want you to enjoy that great experience. We want you to enjoy being you at your best. Because the more you enjoy it, the more you're releasing those happy hormones, those great chemicals, the more that you're appreciating your own success and your own abilities. Increasing that confidence, increasing that belief, even from just these few minutes in that relaxed and focused state. Letting go of the negatives, excuse me, almost like weights coming off your shoulders, and embracing those positives. And then capturing those feelings, reaching out and grabbing them, hugging them into you, squeezing them into you, taking ownership of them, making them yours. Bringing those great feelings back to your wonderful place, your perfect place. Taking a moment or two to let those feelings soak in, to let every cell, every part of you take on these changes, every cell, every part of you smiling and happy, down to the tips of your toes, tips of your fingers, top of your head, every part of you looking forward to that success, looking forward to that clarity, maybe some new ideas, some new thoughts, maybe a real clarity of direction, whatever looks and feels right. Being in that wonderful place, then that perfect place. Because in a moment or two, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. On the count of 5, and only on the count of 5, you'll smile, you'll stretch, you'll open your eyes, becoming fully wide awake, fully alert, feeling really good, feeling really well, feeling as though you've just had that really good sleep. Not been to sleep just yet, though, just been relaxed, just been hypnotized, been highly focused, but having that great energized feeling when you do come back to being eyes open. Subconscious mind remembering every moment of this session. Conscious mind remembers as much as it would do from any conversation, and that's fine because it's the subconscious making the changes. The conscious mind just needs to come along for the ride, really, to allow it to happen. Generally feeling good, maybe even better than you felt for some time. So 1, feel a little less relaxed. 2, feel that surge of energy now through your body, whole body becoming energized as that energy level builds up. 3, take a deep, deep breath of cool, clear mountain air, filling your lungs with life-giving oxygen. 4, feel cool, clear mountain spring water wash the backs of your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your throat. Your chest clear, your stomach's clear, and your head's clear. Your nose, your mouth, and throat's clear. Your eyes are bright and shiny. And 5, it's open, wide awake, nice stretch, nice smile. Welcome back from that little taster of some business performance. And although it is very generic, it will give you some benefit. Whatever you were working on, whatever you were thinking about in that future time, whatever that project was, actually you will get some benefit from listening to it and coming back and listening to it as well. So that sort of brings me to the close of things for today. Again, apologies that we couldn't do this live and I've had to do it just on the recording. I'll send this out, this recording. You're going to get this, you'll be listening to this when you first get it anyway, but the recording will come out tomorrow. I will follow up as well later in the week, so we'll be reaching out to you. If you do have any questions or queries, though, if you want to look at this in more detail, because it can be very specific as well. So got to be very general in the recordings, in these workshops, but it can be quite specific if you think there's something specific holding you back, or we can actually work on a whole performance package that carries you to that next level, whatever that next level is, and even beyond it as well. So we'll be reaching out to you, but in questions, I say, reply to the email that you've got this link on. That will come back to me so I can answer any questions, or there's my number on the email as well, so you can WhatsApp me or give me a call. But hope you enjoyed that. So I can't open up for questions because we're not doing this live. This is just me recording it. So apologies again that the audio didn't work on the live. And have a great rest of the day, great rest of the week, and take care. Cheers for now.